Hello, everyone. Yay, FloraSage here. And I want to welcome all of you to our Lunch and Learn for this week. And this week, we're going to be looking at spirit guides. So before we get started with the class, I'd like for all of you in the chat box to put in where you're tuning in from so that I can give you a little shout out. Woohoo! Now, obviously, if you're watching the replay, I'm not going to be able to, but okay. So we have a bunch of people jumping on the line. Welcome. So I'll give you just a few moments to pop in the chat box and let me know where you're coming from. Steve from Boulder Creek, California. Sandy from Madison. Michelle from Bagley, Minnesota. Yay, hi. Awesome. So we got a bunch of people still streaming in. So fun. So fun. Greenwich, Utah. Gretchen. Yay, Crystal. Hi, Flora from Long Beach. Kim from Ada, Minnesota. Nice. Okay, so let's get this party started. All right. So this is a really near and dear class to my heart because guides and they have so much to teach us. And since I have started working with spirit guides, my life has been completely different. And so I want to officially welcome all of you to this Lunch and Learn. These are mini classes that I do. For those of you who may not want to take an hour or 2 hour long class, and we get in, we hit all the thoughts and main points of a topic, and then we are on our way. So, 30 minutes, we're in and out. We've got more people. We've got Crystal coming in from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. We've got Marlene from San Jose, California. We have, I don't know how to apologize, Tessa from Virginia Beach. Yay! Papa Dude from Oklahoma in North Carolina. Yay! Oh, Steve, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so for this Lunch and Learn topic, it is spirit guides. And this is really good. So before we get started with the official content of this class, let's call in sacred space. And how we do that is simply just closing our eyes and take 3 deep, deep belly breaths in through the nose, allowing your belly to rise and chest to rise. Exhale out your mouth, slowly allowing your chest to fall and your belly to sink in. Take another deep, deep belly breath in. And exhale. Take one last breath in as we call in all of our guides and guardians to sacred space today. And as you exhale, open your eyes. Yay, my favorite. Okay, so spirit guides. In today's class, you're going to learn what spirit guides are, who they are, how many that you have, how they come to us, why they come to us, any blocks that you might have, and also how you can meditate or how you can become introduced to spirit guides. So, spirit guides. Well, spirit guides, I believe, are a higher aspect of ourself. I believe that all of us are source energy. And when we tap into that deepest part of ourself, and then we follow that light body, if we follow that stream of pure source energy, what happens is we start to come in contact with higher entities, with that higher version of ourselves, with our higher plane of existence. And these are also known as spirit guides. Spirit guides can come to us in the form of angels, celestial beings, people from our past, like our ancestors or friends or family members that have passed away, pets that have passed away, power animals, master teach angels, saints. There's so many different possibilities when it comes to spirit guides. And a lot of people, when they first come in contact with the term or kind of the premise of spirit guides, they're like, yeah, I'm not really sure. They're kind of confused and they get it. And so hopefully this class will allow you to be able to understand. And so when I say a spirit guide, ultimately it is just a higher version of yourself, because we're all one. We are all part of this plane of existence. I'm actually going to draw a picture. So, and I am not an artist. So we are all part of one. Let me see. I'm going to switch screens here. So let me see if you, okay. So here is you. Okay. You are the center of your universe. And here is these states, the states of being. And when you connect with your core self in your heart space and follow that up through the chakra system up to your soul star chakra. Your soul star chakra is about 6 to 12 inches above your head. Connect with that soul star. You are connecting with all these layers of consciousness. And all of these layers of consciousness are pure source energy. And so at various points, you come up in contact with various spirit guides or a different degree or different vibrational level of understanding and wisdom. And again, this is all part of your higher aspect of self. We're all one. And actually I wasn't going to teach it this, I'm totally, but that is okay. So when you connect with your heart space and you give yourself permission to reach the highest aspect of yourself possible, but you come up against a block of, well, I need help. I don't understand. I don't know the answer. I need guidance from above. I need guidance from God or a goddess or the spirits or whomever. I need guidance. And so what you're doing is you're tapping into these other levels of consciousness that are available to absolutely. And one of the human mind, for the psyche, for the ego to comprehend this type of awareness or this type of communication with self is giving that self a different name and creating a different entity, aka a spirit guide or an angel or a saint or a master teacher or an ancestor. In reality, we're part of the cosmos. We're all part of this web. In order for our human mind to be able to comprehend and go, oh yeah, I'm totally down with that, we just call them spirit guides. But in stripping away everything, you are really truly connecting with your high source self. So anyway, with that said, because when you connect with source energy, the possibilities are, and that the number of spirit guides that you have is exponential. Really, truly exponential. Now, most of us have a core group of guides or a core group of spiritual beings or entities that help us in various forms in our life and, during various times. And so their appearance will be pleasing to us or at least welcoming to. A lot of the time, people say to me, oh, what if I go into a meditation and my spirit guide is like really scary or is like something that I'm phobic of, like a spider or a snake or something like that? And that's just the thing, is that when you go to meet a spirit guide, it's going to come to you in a way that is welcoming for you, that is okay for you to accept. If it does trigger you in a way, so let's just say that you have an aversion to a certain demographic or certain type of person based on past traumas, and you get a spirit guide that is of that demographic. Well, what that tells me is that that spirit guide wants to work with you to help you lessen the trigger and to help you be able to see things from a different angle. So allowing yourself to recognize that when you come in contact with a spirit guide, that spirit guide has a specific purpose for you. Now, names of spirit guides, and this is another thing, is I wanted to have a name, and it came up with Bob or Fred or Jacqueline or something like that, and I wanted to be like really fancy or whatever. So spirit guides' names typically are usually pretty normal. Every once in a while, you'll get one that has like this really exotic sounding name. But the reason being is because names hold vibration and they hold an energetic resonance. And so when you have a name that is normal, it kind of takes out that rock star value out of it, because a lot of people are just like, oh my God, my spirit guide. Oh, and then there's like this rock star name, and then they don't want to work with it because it's like this rock star thing, you know? And so spirit guides come to you in pretty normal layman's ways, so that they can and you can both feel familiar with each other. Now, the whole purpose of why we have spirit guides is because they are kind of like a group of operators in a room waiting to help us at any given moment in our life. But because of free will, they will not help us unless we ask them and unless we're open to it. Now, many times when people help me, not, oh, God, help me, but God, help me, then that is your plead to the universe, to source energy. And again, to source energy for guidance, for a solution to something that you're going through. So then what happens is you've given free rein. You said, okay, through asking for help. And so then what happens is source energy, AKA God or your spirit guides, will come in and start to pose possible solutions for you to engage in. But you have to be open and receptive to engage in the solutions that they're giving you. A lot of the times, and this is one of the blocks that people may have, is they think that when they ask the universe or God or a spirit guide for help, that it needs to come in a certain way, at a certain time, and that's just not the case. I'm just a little bit ahead of myself, but so names and appearances will be in a way that will be comfortable for you. And they come to us, again, when we ask them for help, when we say and acknowledge free will, like, okay, I need help. They're not just going to come barging in when you're not asking for help. So one of the things also that I'd like to mention is that when you start to work with spirit guides and you are open to it and you to have a spirit guide come in, what happens is they'll come to you in a way that you will know and acknowledge, okay, is this a spirit guide? If you're asking yourself that question, the answer is yes, this is a spirit guide. So many times they come to us through our natural clair. So, okay, so what do I mean by clair? Well, the word clair is actually clear seeing or clairvoyance, clear feeling, which is clairsentient, which is that feeling sense, clairaudient, which is hearing, claircognizant, which is thinking and knowing, clairfragrant, which is smelling, and clairgustance, which is tasting. Now, the clairfragrant and the clairgustance usually is associated with more of a thing, but we all have our natural gifts of the clairs. And so when you can recognize how you associate and how you interact with your specific spirit guide, then it's much easier for you to be able to communicate with them. So I'll give you an example of how some of mine have come to me. So the first time one of mine came to me, because this is the biggest question, is, well, how am I going to know that they're here? But also, I want to start working with one, so how can I call them to me? And again, like I said, first and foremost, you have to be willing to accept their help, and you have to ask. You need to be very specific, like, okay, peeps, I want to communicate with you. And so my first time was I was taking a bath, and I was meditating on this candle. Flame turned rainbow-looking thing, and I was like, woo, this is cool. And then all of a sudden I heard a whisper, and it was like this kind of fairy-ish type whisper. And I was like, ooh. And then I heard it again, and I was like, are you my spirit guide? And I got a yes. And this spirit guide kind of looks a little elfish, and she's got all white, and she's got brown hair and a really fair face, and she's kind of just whispers. And so we actually talk, like she talks to me and I talk with her. And then another one of my spirit guides came to me. I had a friend of mine from Greece, this stone that he found on the beach. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And so I set it on my altar, waited a couple days, and then I was guided to meditate with it. And then what happened was I picked it up and I started to meditate, and all of a sudden I got this image in my head of this shaman, and I was like, oh my God, this is exciting. And I was like, are you my shaman guide? And I knew just by seeing him that he was a shaman. And at the time I was training and study, and he just he was like this, and he just nodded like this. And I'm like, oh my God, how exciting. And he kind of had this little grin on his face, and I was talking with him, and he doesn't say anything to me. It's very much like I just understand what he's thinking or what he's wanting me to do. And then I say it out loud, and then he like nods or shakes his head, and then he'll kind of grin or laugh, kind of chuckle a little bit, but he never actually speaks to me. Another one of my spirit guides, he actually came to me. I was kayaking down the river, and we were stopping to get some stones and stuff. And I found one that it looked like it had a little dude on it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I tossed it in the bag with all the other rocks and stuff. Then I came home and I was sorting it out. And then I found it again. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I set it on my altar again. And then I was like, all right. And then waited a couple days and picked it up and was meditating with it. And all of a sudden I got his name, and then he's one of my runner guides. And he very much goes and he finds parking spots for me. And I don't like shopping. And I'll literally wear something until there's holes in it. And so if I have to go clothes shopping, I'm like, okay, go find the perfect blouse or the perfect pair of pants or whatever. And then so he goes and he finds all the stuff for me. And literally I am in and out because I do not like shopping. And then I find that when I'm at a place and just shit's hitting the fan, I can't find anything, I'm having a meltdown, I'm like, oh crap, I didn't send my runner guide out. So that's another thing, is that each of our guides has that specific purpose. They have a purpose for us to, and sort of their specialty. And so my shaman guide for that deep shamanic ancestral healing. I have a health guide. I have a joy guide. I have a runner. I have a couple master teachers. And so this is one of the things, is that each guide that you come in contact with has a specialty. Okay. And so when you allow yourself to recognize the specialty, and you'll know you can even ask them, hey, what kind of a guide are you? Then you can start to build a relationship with them, because okay, so this is my health guide. Okay. So anytime you have a health question, you can go to this guide. And so one of the things that I recommend that everybody do to start to bond with your spirit guides is to do D3 daily. And this is a term that I coined almost 10 years ago in my first YouTube channel, where I first spoke about this. But D3 is daily divine dialogue. And start to talk with your family of guides like they are your best friend, because literally they have been with you through the eons of time, and they know yourself. You allow yourself to talk with them daily and interact with them daily. Then you get to know their quirks, their idiosyncrasies, just like we have our quirks and idiosyncrasies. You get to know how they communicate with you, when they communicate with you, the solutions that they provide for you, and you start to really build that relationship and that bond with them. One of the easiest ways to build a bond with them is to name your family of guides. I call my guides my peeps. Hey peeps, and it's like, it's not just God and Goddess, it's my dad and a couple other of my ancestors and all my spirit guides. And it's just like, and when I don't know which one specifically to go to, then I say, all right, peeps, let's all work on this together. And so collectively, we all come together and find a simple solution. There are other times when I go to a specific guide for a specific thing, and that's usually the guide that specializes in that one thing. And this really is just like when you want an eye doctor, you call the dentist. You know what I mean? And so And the more that you communicate with them and talk with them, the more that you're going to trust in what it is that they have to share with you and those simple solutions. So another thing is you really have to talk with them and ask them to be present in your life, because they abide by free will. Free will, free will, free will. We can't force anybody to do anything, just as spirit can't force us to do something, just like to do something. Ask for guidance. When you give permission to the universe, just say, I'm open and receptive to all the guidance that you have to share with me. Then you have to be open to receiving unorthodox information and something that you might not expect. Trust me on this. This is one of the things that blows my mind every single time I have something that I'm working through, and I'm like, okay, I really need to call in the big guns. And I'm like, all right, peeps, show me what you got. And I'm always surprised. I'm like, oh my God, I never would have thought this would have come to me this way. This is exciting. You've got to be willing for their help, and then you've got to be willing to receive their help. Now, a possible block that some people might have when working with spirit guides is that that's not true. Spirit guides aren't true. And oh my God, I must be making this up. Like, why would a spirit guide want to work with me? Or another block would be, fearful of what they might say or what they might ask you to do when for help. So another thing is that I hear a lot of the times is kind of a cop-out is, well, I don't want to ask them to do certain things because it's just so simple. I mean, I just, I don't want to ask them for too much and all this other stuff. And know that spirit guides are here to help you with everything from after you work out to getting up and going to the bathroom, because after you do leg day, you know that your legs are really freaking sore. Or finding a parking spot, or helping you find your voice so that you can speak your truth to someone. So nothing is too small, nothing is too big for you to be able to work with and ask your spirit guides for help, okay? So give yourself permission this week to be open and receptive to spirit guides, the higher version of yourself, the higher aspect of yourself, literally plugging into source energy and saying, all right, I need help with this facet of my life, whether it's learning a foreign language or speaking your truth and tackling a challenging relationship or tackling your finances or tackling something. Call upon guides, call whomever you're guided to. And you can even say, all right, peeps, I want a spirit guide or need a spirit guide that's in relation to, and then whatever it is that you're struggling with or going through, and then be open and receptive to it. And so one of the ways that you can connect with a spirit guide is through meditation. I have several meditations inside my institute, which I'm going to tell you in just a second, that actually brings you through the guided meditation process where you can meet a guide. And it's so cool, so amazing. And you can repeat that meditation over and over and over again and allow yourself to really get in tune and in touch with that spirit guide. Now, you don't have to do a guided meditation. You literally can just sit. You can play some little ambient music in, like the background, which you can easily find on YouTube. And you can just go into the meditation with the express intention of connecting with a spirit guide. And you can say, all right, spirit guide for whatever the heck, and be specific. And you can say, all right, peeps, I'm open and receptive, and start to just call in that spirit guide. And then start to be open and receptive to what you get in your mind's eye. It will feel like you're making it up, okay? But notice what image comes to mind. It could be a dragon. It could be a person. It could be an alien. It could be a celestial being. It could be a dog or a cat or a fish or a mouse. It could be an angel. It could be an archangel. It could be a saint. It could be a master teacher. So give yourself permission to be open to whatever your spirit guide wants to appear to you as, and then say, okay. And they're showing themselves to you because, yes, they are your spirit guide. And then you can say, okay, what's your name? And sometimes you might not get a name right away. Sometimes you will. And then you can notice in these small interactions how they communicate with you. Like I said, some of them talk my ear off. Another one, he just doesn't say anything. He's like, or whatever. So allow yourself to really recognize how they come to you. Now, so there's a question, what if all you hear is white noise? Okay, then there's some static, and then so you can say, okay, so what am I missing? And they might not communicate with you through the audible. They might communicate with you just through the knowing. So pay attention to all the information. And then also, what that also tells me is if you're just hearing white noise, they might be helping you to clear the chaos and clear just clearing the chaos and the clutter that is mucking up your receptors. You can say, oh, can I clear this chaos or this white noise so that I can truly hear what you're trying to say to me? Okay, so allow yourself to really use that inner knowing and really use your divine guidance that you already have within you, and allow yourself to be open and receptive to this, because this is really fun. So before we end, I really want to share with you a really cool offer. This is so exciting. So those of you who have been following me for a while know that I love to do these classes. Oh my gosh, I love to do these classes. I only share with you so much in these webinars. And so for $1, I want to share with you over 150 hours worth of content. So if you've liked this class, know that I actually have a class called Spirit Guides Meet and Greet. It's over an hour long, where we actually dig deeper into the topic of spirit guides, but also bring you through a meditation where you meet your spirit guide. The other thing that is amazing from this $1 offer for 15 days, you literally get unlimited access to like literally hundreds of these classes. So some of the classes that you'll get access to and activated the special offer on the screen. So is the intuition meditation one, the time management for busy people, new story, new you, change your life by rewriting your story, journey through journaling, how to raise your personal vibrations, archangels, chakras 101, judgment versus comparison. Plus you also get access, and that's just half of the classes. Plus you also get access to my full year and a day 53-week program. That's an earth-based spiritualist program. You also get access to my Fearlessly Inspired 12-week program, which is the bomb. I love that one. You also get access to my meditation Evan. Also, all of my, what else is in there? Because there's so much in there. You also get access to the Law of Thinking, which is part of my Mastering the 11 Spiritual Laws program. You also get access to the office hours and free readings for members of the Institute. So if you're interested in gaining access to over 150 hours worth of content and classes just like this, but even better because they're longer and way more in depth, then click the link on the screen. Offer, like I said, a days, no strings attached. If after 15 days you absolutely love what you see, you love the content, it's allowing you to really grow exponentially, spiritually, and personally, then you can stay. And if you choose to stay after 15 days, it's only $24.95 every month after that. If not, you can cancel at any time whatsoever. It is a month-to-month. So, but you know, this is something that I absolutely love. It's so near and dear to my heart. There's another level called the immersion level where we meet like 6 times. Actually more than that. We have a What's Up Wednesday call every single Wednesday. It's the spirit-led call. We had one this morning. We also have 2 office hours calls. We have a group coaching call. We have, let me see. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of different calls. We have the planning posse party, which is tomorrow night. So we have all kinds of really fun things if you choose to go to the level above the basic level, which is just $1. So like I said, check it out. It's only $1. You have nothing to lose, but well, a lot. Actually, a lot of people have said, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't join, sooner. But anywho, click the link on the screen, click claim my special offer, and check it out. All right, so I want to thank all of you so much for coming to the free class today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat box. I'll stay on for about 5 minutes. I do want to honor the 30-minute time frame, so hence we are done after 30 minutes. So I'll stay on for 5 minutes answering any questions you might have, or about the $15-day special trial. So let me know. I've had a lot of thank yous. You're so very welcome. Lori, you did not miss it. I saw you pop in kind of in the middle. So after this, you will be getting a replay link. So if you missed the beginning, simply check. We're done. I think it usually gets sent out an hour after we start. So I think at 1 p.m. Central Time, you will be getting the replay link in your inbox. And all you have to do is click the replay link to watch the full class again. Yay on the replay. Woo, woo, yes. Nancy says, thank you. You're very welcome. Awesome. All right. So yes, let me know if you have any questions whatsoever about spirit guides, meet them, or how they come to you, or how you can communicate with them. Again, I do have a full-length class about this particular topic. And actually, I've got space clearing for you. I have, oh my gosh, so many classes. Let me bring up the list again. Judgment versus comparison, own your power, own your energy, freedom from fear, balance versus harmony, stop self-sabotaging. That was one of the lunch and learns we already did. Color therapy, chakras 101. We have, like I said, a ton of content in there just for you. So much for your time. This is exactly what I needed to hear today. I've been feeling very lost and have been asking my guides for help today. It's the first time in a long time. And then you had this class. Yay! Well, thank you. I'm glad that you came to this class. Woohoo! Susan says, how can you tell the difference between spirit guides and your own thoughts? That is a very good question. So your own thoughts. So spirit guides typically tell you, okay, this is right. So this is kind of a layered answer because your thoughts, we're all one. So essentially, yes, it is you and it's all your own thoughts. But you can tell if it's an ego-based thought because it's telling you things that are disempowering. Intuition and spirit guides tell you things that are empowering. They also share with you information that will move you to get you to a clarity, that will move you from where you're at to where you want to be. Sometimes that's scary. Sometimes it is a very simple solution, but the simple solution doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It might be challenging because all of a sudden you might have to face something that you've been ignoring. I was vegan for 2 years and I just couldn't stomach meat. I read a book called Skinny Bitch, thinking it was just kind of be like a lighthearted read. I'm like, hey, it's going to be awesome. And then all of a sudden it was about factory farming and the slaughterhouses. And I was like, oh my God, this sucks. And I just couldn't stomach it. I was like, oh, and I couldn't eat it. I didn't eat for 2 years. I didn't eat meat. But I was guided to, that was just the thing. I kept being guided to eat meat. I'm like, no, I don't. This sucks, And I was feeling like my health decline. And it was just like, this is not cool. And so I went to the doctor and started doing, food combining. And I started doing supplements and all these other things that everybody said to do in the vegan community. And still it wasn't good. And then after 2 years, I hit a wall. I had a really bad health scare. My doctor said, you need to eat meat or else you're not going to make it. And I'm like, okay, because my body wasn't getting the things that it needed. Body types that needs protein. There's protein-centric and carb-centric. Carb-centric people can go vegan and they're fine. They've got more energy. Protein-centric people, they have to have meat. That's just how we are. And based on a lot of different factors. But anyway, so during this health scare, literally I almost passed out and was laying down and I'm going, oh my God. And all of a sudden this face came and she's like, hi, my name is Ella. I am your health guide now. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to. She's like, you have to. And I was like, ah. And it was horrible. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so they tell you what you need to hear. And that's part of the thing is that your own thoughts will tell you what you want to hear. your spirit guides will tell you what you need to hear. And sometimes it's easy to do, and sometimes it's really challenging. It's just confirmation of what you already know, but just getting that confirmation from a spirit guide is huge. Now, another thing, Susan, is that the more that you communicate with your spirit guides, the more that you're going to get to know their personality. Like, each one of my spirit guides has a personality. And so I can tell if it's me trying to bullshit myself or if it's that spirit guide. You know what I mean? And so the more that you communicate with them, the more that you connect D3, the more that you will know that it is them. But like I said, I do have a spirit guide meet and greet full-on class with a meditation where you can actually go into the meditation and meet your spirit guide. And it's so, so cool. Another thing that I have in the Inner Circle, in the Institute, is a full called Your Sacred Sanctuary. And it is absolutely my favorite. And one of the meditations in the album, which you get access to for the $1 trial, it's so exciting. It's ultimately my most favorite album that I've ever done. And one of the meditations is a meditation to remove blocks. Now, I think the title is to remove blocks for greater psychic abilities, but this is to remove blocks of any kind. And this is a meditation I personally do when I feel I have a block in communication with someone. If I feel like I have a block with my health or finances or anything, I go in with the intention of clearing the block for that particular issue. So it's abilities block for anything in your life. And so if you feel that you have a block and you're not able to truly connect with your peeps and your spirit guides, go in there. Like I said, it's $1. You got nothing to lose. Go in there, find and, navigate the meditation albums and click on the Your Sacred Sanctuary meditation album, and then click on the removing blocks meditation one. And I think that meditation is about 15 minutes long, and that one has impacted so many people's lives. It's very humbling for me as a teacher because, most of the meditations on that particular album were channeled, and so good. But I personally do that one anytime I feel that there's a block and my ego isn't letting me clear through it. I just go into that meditation. It's on my phone. I carry it with me always because I know if I have a block to something, then something big is coming after that block is removed. So I hope that helps you all. Papa Dude says, you rock as always. We'll find a way to. Yes. And you know that you just recently had an aha moment and a breakthrough because of that. Yay! That's so exciting. I love it. And what serendipitous timing too. Woohoo! Susan says, great explanation. Thank you, Flora, especially about recognizing the personalities. Well, you're very welcome, Susan. And thank you for coming to today's call today. I know that you all are busy, and this is one of the reasons why I did the Lunch and Learn, a quick 30-minute in and out class for those of you who want some self-help, but don't want to take the time to do it. Just kidding. But not really. I mean, self-help, usually takes a long time. And I wanted these classes to be short and painless, hopefully. Woohoo! And hopefully they've made an impact and you can take what you've learned and run with it. All right. So like I said, if you want in for $1, go ahead and click the Claim My Special Offer button. It's only $1. And I welcome you into the Inner Circle and into the FloraSage Institute. And I'm super excited first of all, that you came here, and also that because next week on Wednesday, let me see, because I haven't officially scheduled it yet. I am going to be doing another Lunch and Learn class. I'm bringing up my calendar just a second. I'm going to be doing another Lunch and Learn class. Oh, yes. I have group coaching at 1 p.m. for all of you that are in the immersion level of the Institute. So what topic am I going to do? I haven't decided yet. I'll look at the list and I'm going to decide right here live with all of you. How to raise your personal vibrations. I'm going to write that down. That is the topic for next week. How to raise your personal vibes. Oh, that's good. And that full class, the whole hour long, actually I think it's like an hour and a half long class, is in the Institute. You don't have to wait for next week. You can get so you can actually get in today and you can listen to it today. So that's the class we're going to be doing next week. So keep an eye open in your inbox and on social media for our little image. It's a little coffee cup, and even though I'm only drinking water. And sign up for the class for next week, how to raise your personal vibes. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.